My parents put my younger brother on a pedestal my entire life and treated me as a less than, and now they want to tell me to do the chores he's been ignoring while living rent-free at their house, and I told them no, so they let him blow up and assault me for not shutting up and doing as I was told. Posted by u/do_astronomer_3268. I, 26F, honestly feel like I'm at my breaking point and need some outside perspective because I'm either going crazy or just finally waking up. Growing up, my brother, 24M, was always the golden child. He got to do everything I wasn't allowed to. He had freedom, friends, he could go out, date, live like a normal teenager. Meanwhile, I wasn't allowed in any of that. If I even questioned it, I'd get the "he's a boy, it's different" response. That excuse was drilled into me for years, and I'm still resentful of how much I missed out on just because of that double standard. For context, we are Balkan Muslims, and it's pretty common for us women to not get treated the same as our male relatives. Now I'm married with a child of my own. I live an hour away from my parents, and while I don't mind helping them here and there, I've got a household, a job, and a toddler to take care of. Lately, they've been needing more help with bills, paperwork, appointments, organizing their estate, and guess who's been handling all of that? Me. Not the son who lives with them rent-free with his girlfriend and has all the free time in the world. It's become too much, and I told my parents I can't keep doing everything and they need to start asking their son to step up. They weren't happy, but for about a week, things were quiet. I wasn't getting flooded with texts and calls. I thought they were finally listening and my brother finally grew up. This past weekend, I went to visit and immediately saw a giant pile of paperwork, unopened mail, and bills scattered on the table. I asked what was going on and why it was all untouched. They told me they'd asked my brother to take care of it, and he kept saying he'd get to it. I asked where he was, and surprise. He was out with his friends. My parents asked me to do it, and I said no, we were going to wait until he came home and he was going to do it. No more excuses. An hour later, he walks in, doesn't even greet me, just says, "Have you done mom and dad's paperwork yet?" I looked at him and said no, this is your job now. You live here, you handle it. He starts whining that I'm better at organizing, I know what gets paid when, I can translate things better, I know where everything goes. I told him I don't care. I have my own life and family to take care of, and it's not my responsibility to keep doing everything just because no one ever taught him how to be an adult. He got mad and things escalated. He started yelling, insulting me, and at one point picked up a binder full of documents and threw it at me, and it hit my head. I just stared at him and waited for my parents to say something, to defend me, to check him for that behavior and for throwing a binder at me. Instead, they looked at me and said it was my fault, that I started it, and I should have just shut up and done the paperwork like always. I snapped. I started yelling at them all, saying everything I've bottled up for years. I told them that they raised a spoiled, lazy man-child who can't do a basic task and will throw them into a nursing home the first chance he gets. I told them I was done being the one who carries all the weight while he gets to live carefree. I grabbed my things and told them I couldn't stand this family anymore and that I hated them all. As I was walking out, they said if I left and refused to help, they would have nothing to do with me. I said fine. I left and haven't spoken to them since. Now they're blowing up my phone. First asking for help. My brother says he doesn't know where the checkbooks are, how to write a check, who my mom and dad's doctor is, insurance, etc. When they saw I wasn't responding, the texts got nasty. They began calling me selfish, heartless, and cruel. My dad left a voicemail wishing that I would get cancer in my stomach. He said this in our native language, and this is the best way I could translate it to make it make sense. That broke my heart. They've said some horrible things to me, but that was way too far. They even dragged my aunt into it, who's now telling me I should be ashamed of myself for how I spoke to my parents and for refusing to help them, and that God will punish me. At this point, I've gone completely no contact, but I can't lie, I feel guilty, even though I know I was pushed beyond my limit. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. What gets me is the fact they can't even open mail. Like, can't even open an envelope and look at the mail? If they had done that and said, this one is concerning a doctor's appointment, but I don't know which doctor, etc., I'd be more forgiving. But if they are literally incapable of opening mail, then I'd go with, sorry, parents, you obviously need 24-hour care, and that's not a level I can do. So you're going in a home. Harsh? Yes. But realistically, if they can't even open a letter, then that's a level of care that requires a care facility. Obviously, they can do it, they just won't. But I'd go that route. Ops response. The mail thing is sort of my fault. When we first moved to America, we had green cards, so we were receiving mail from immigration. My parents, not being able to read English and not knowing why people kept showing up and dropping envelopes off, mailmen were throwing away all the mail they received every single day. I saw them throwing it away one day and stopped them. Thank God I caught on when I did, or we would have missed important appointments that would have cost us our citizenship. I told them not to open any important mail and that I would do it, but I didn't realize this would still apply decades later after I got married and moved out. Commenter 2. They raised you to take care of them. They raised him to be taken care of. You were a convenient tool for them, someone to take care of everything while they spoiled their son. Now they get to reap what they sowed. I am so sorry. It sucks. But I would mute their calls. No need to stress yourself out. And remember the peace you feel not serving them. And don't crawl back. They need to apologize and actually change before you have anything to do with them. Ops response. As horrible as it is, I don't want anything to do with them anymore. My own brother assaulted me and they blamed me. I can never forgive them for that, and I will not allow my daughter around that or grow up believing that that is normal and what a loving family is. Commenter 3. You are being treated like a servant. Stay strong. Go no contact if necessary. Explore other religions. Find one, or none, that treats women as equals. Raise your children to be different. You have nothing to gain emotionally by staying in that family. You have your own. Ops response. The religion isn't a problem. It's the culture, unfortunately. Op on following the culture for her family. My husband and I are breaking the generational trauma/curse. Our daughter and future child will be treated equally and will be allowed to live their life the way they want. No matter what, their happiness is more important than anything else. Op on her parents' paperwork. Do the parents owe anything? Both my mother's and father's paperwork, retirement mail my mom and dad received from Europe from when they worked there. Retirement mail for my father from here. Healthcare paperwork due to my father's health and keeping track of medical bills and fighting them because insurance hates helping people but loves taking our money. Auto insurance bills. Home insurance bills. Credit card bills. Thankfully they are not in debt, and I've made sure of it. They buy things here and there, but I used to track these as I did not trust my brother not to rack up debt. Mortgage documents/bills. Coupons. Made them coupons since we were dirt poor when we moved here and couponing stuck. Those are just a few things. They like keeping paper trails of everything. Now that I am reading this back, this is insane, haha. Commenter 4. Definitely not the jerk. Reminds me of a friend who did everything for her mom, even cancer caring for her final stage of life, paying bills, etc., while having a family of her own. Guess who was the golden child, did nothing, lived rent-free in the house, and got everything done for them, including all assets in the will, yep, but the brother. Let them faffo. Ops response. I went to my parents' estate plan consultations/appointments to help them and had so much fun listening to them tell me that almost everything, including their home here and property back home, goes to him. They told me I will get $5,000 and any traditional clothing they have. The funniest part was how uncomfortable the attorney was when I told them my parents wanted to give my brother basically everything. Op adds an edit to her post. Hi again. I wanted to clarify a few things that came up. Someone said I was the jerk for not teaching my family how to do anything. That's just not true. I've spent hours trying to teach my parents how to access bills online, sign checks, etc. They always struggle to remember, which really just means they didn't care to learn. I even tried teaching my brother, but he always had plans or wasn't in the mood. I tried. My mother is 50 and my father is 65. As for religion, please don't confuse culture with Islam. My parents picked and chose which Islamic values suited them, which is unfortunately very common, especially in the Balkans. Islam actually holds women to very high standards. It's culture that messed everything up. For example, I wasn't allowed to date or have fun because I'd shame the family, and I had to marry a Balkan Muslim. But my brother dated whoever he wanted, including non-Muslim women. My husband wasn't even allowed to sleep in the guest room at our house when we got engaged and had to sleep in hotels until I finally snapped at my parents about it. Yet my brother's girlfriend basically moved in on day one and no one blinked. I've been the translator and basically the family employee since I was 10. I filled out every form, made every call, done everything for my parents, and it just never stopped. I blame myself for this, as I should have put my foot down years ago. My husband doesn't like my family and hates my brother. That hatred really cemented when my water broke at 30 weeks and I was in the hospital crying and having a legit mental breakdown, thinking I failed my baby. My lovely brother showed up and told me that I must have done something stupid and broke my water myself. My husband dragged him out, and my brother wasn't allowed back. Right now, My husband only knows there was a screaming match and I decided to cut everyone off. He doesn't know the full story because if he did, I know exactly what he'd do, and I'm not trying to go down that road. I know they'll probably show up at some point. I'm mentally preparing for it. Who knows what they'll do at that point? I've mentioned that I would like to move closer to my in-laws, and my husband is on board with that idea. He also talked to me about starting therapy. We were reading the messages and comments together, and we both realized I was severely emotionally abused. Thank you all for your kind words and support. I truly appreciate you all. It's just sad that internet strangers have shown me more kindness and love than my own family has in years. I will update if anything happens. Much love to you all. Op adds a second edit to her post. I forgot to mention I told my husband what my brother did to me. As you can imagine, he is furious and wanted to head over there tonight and, But I won't let him stoop to their level. I am now worried about them showing up here and causing a commotion, as that is the type of people they are. Update 12 days later. A lot has happened since my last post that I don't even know where to start. After I went no contact, the calls didn't stop. My phone was blowing up constantly. Then my dad decided to try to call my husband directly. He acted like absolutely nothing had happened, all cheerful and casual, as if my brother hadn't just thrown a binder at me over a week ago. I guess my dad thought my husband didn't know what happened. My husband cut him off and told him he knows exactly what happened, and that if my brother ever bothers me again or so much as steps foot on our property, it won't be pretty. Let's just say the conversation ended very quickly after that. A few days later, my uncle and aunt decided to randomly drop by our house unannounced to talk things out. My husband went outside before I even had a chance to react. He absolutely chewed them out, telling them that if helping my parents is so important to them, they should go do it themselves instead of harassing us. They left pretty fast after that. An hour after they left, my parents showed up. My husband did not allow them inside, but they stood at my door yelling at me, saying how disappointed they were in me and how I was disrespectful for talking about family issues with my husband. They called me horrible names that I can't even repeat here. I finally snapped and told them I want nothing to do with them anymore and that this would be the last time we speak. They kept going, but I refused to participate in the conversation any longer, and they eventually left after my husband threatened to call the police. When they left, I completely broke down. The things my parents said were vile and cruel. I don't know what I did to deserve this kind of treatment. I expect that kind of behavior from my in-laws, not my parents. The sad truth is, my mother-in-law has been a better and more loving mother to me than my own mom ever has, and that hurts in a way I can't even explain. This happened a few days ago, and since then I've blocked my parents, brother, my uncle, and my aunt. A few other family members have tried reaching out, but the moment I see they're defending my parents, I block them too. I just can't deal with it anymore, and I have my own family to worry about. We've decided we'll be moving closer to my in-laws this winter, and no one will know except close friends and family we can trust not to run back to my parents. My first therapy session is scheduled for next week as well. When I opened up fully to my husband and our close friends about my childhood, the look on their faces made me sick. They explained to me that what I went through was not normal and that no parent should ever treat their child the way mine treated me. Emotional abuse wasn't the only kind of abuse I experienced. I won't outright say it, but let's just say that when I was in trouble as a kid, my parents would make me go outside, pick a branch from a tree, cut it, and bring it to them. You can probably guess the rest. This was constant and not the only thing. My childhood was deeply messed up, and I'm only truly realizing the extent of it now. I'm not doing well at the moment, but I'm thankful I have my husband and friends to support me. I really hope therapy will help me heal, but I know it will take a long time. Right now, it feels like I'm just floating in darkness. I can't comprehend why my parents hate me so much. I did everything they ever wanted, even if it compromised my own happiness. It still wasn't enough for them. To everyone who's commented or messaged me, thank you. You've shown me more kindness and compassion than my own family ever has. I wish every single one of you nothing but love and happiness. I hope this is the first and last time I have to update on this situation. Much love to you all. /relevant comments. Commenter. Going completely no contact with your family is the first step toward achieving personal peace. You got a terrible start in life with the family you were born into, but the universe is providing a correction via your chosen family. Your husband is an absolute star. Good luck. Op's response. Thank you. I'm very thankful for my husband. I'm debating whether to tell my mother-in-law and father-in-law what happened, as they still do not know what recently happened. Commenter 2. You're doing well. It gets better. Don't let them back in, They'll try emotional blackmail and but family, but your best bet is to ignore them. Op's response: I've blocked them all, and I will be moving. I have processed them like a death, and they will never hear from or see me again. Op on her husband and his relationship with her family. You are right, and I should have added a bit more context on my husband's relationship with my family. Basically, he realized from the beginning that my family treated me terribly, and in his defense, he has sat me down and talked to me about it multiple times, saying that this isn't right or normal. I would brush it off and say, they didn't mean it, or, they're my parents, I don't tell you what to do with yours. That still didn't stop him from trying to get through to me and sticking up for me. Over the years, he began to hate them more and more. I can't say too much in fear of someone from my family being on here and finding out this is me. What really set him off was after my water broke and my brother treated me the way he did in the hospital. He became more vocal about me needing to take care of myself and have my brother handle my parents. He was already sticking up for me multiple times, but it got to the point that as soon as a comment was made toward me, my husband took us home immediately. The more I talk about it, the more I realize how stupid I was, and I should have listened to my husband more, as I put him through all this BS as well.